Metalopolis for Game 2. This is Cartman's map pick, and we're going to start the replay in 3, 2, 1, go. And in the 6 o'clock position, we have our Red Terran, who's been making waves with his early games in this tournament. It's Cartman.
And in the 12, we got the less than blue Zerg. Sert is what I was going to say.
Yeah, and this is another map. There's been a few maps that have been showing themselves as favorites in this tournament. I mean, Shattered Temple's been a big one. Antigua Shipyard, mostly because Sert absolutely loves that map, so if you don't ban it, he will pick it. Is that to his advantage all the time? As we saw last round, you know.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, no one's invincible anywhere, so. But yeah, and then Metalopolis. This one's been coming up. This has actually been a Group C favorite. We've seen a lot of Group C matches here. In fact, we cast a, and there's Cartman talking about how much he loves this map.
Right? Well, he did pick it.
Oh yeah, and if anyone was here for our live games on day 4, we actually saw a Group C match between Animox and Dragon Master, just about mine out this entire map. And I think it was a 48 StarCraft minute game.
Yeah, I remember that. Didn't it go into a base trade and they ended up switching bases or something like that?
I don't even know if you can call it a base trade. It was just annihilation from minute 1, just non-stop. Just one army getting wiped out, another one getting built, another one getting wiped out, another one getting built. But here we see Cartman taking the early gas again. So you know, he's shown a very strong tendency to go 1-1-1, and it looks like we're going to be seeing that again.
Sert went for the 15 hatch, same as the last game, and since Cartman took that early gas, let's see, it might be a repeat. Let's see if Sert will be able to pull it out if there is another Banshee knocking at his door.
And that's one of the things I was really excited about when I was figuring out how this pool portion of the tournament was going to play out. I really wanted to see how everybody reacted in the second game, because as just a casual StarCraft player, you almost never see the same player twice. I mean, everyone has that story of, oh, I got matched against the same guy 3 times in a row, that kind of thing. But to know your opponent a little bit and to see him twice, and know that these games are going to count towards your seeding in the tournament, I was actually kind of curious if we were going to see some metagaming going on. So I am very interested to see if Sert's going to go with the early Evo chamber and early spores blindly, or if he's going to assume that things may be different.
It was Nero who just put up a spore in his mineral line, isn't it?
Yes, and that game was
it was versus me.
Yeah, I know, but I believe that was a scouting victory right there. Because like that's exactly what happened in the first game. It was a long macro game that he ended up winning. So the second game, he scouted, saw the wall off at the ramp, said, you know what, Protoss typically forge fast expands versus Zerg, and he's not fast expanding, so I mean, what are the options? Is he going to 4-gate me? Is it going to be DTs? Is it going to be Stargate? Well, I better be prepared. And then when those Phoenix came in, he was like, well, good game, bro. we all kind of, watching that replay, Spalls and I were casting that one, and it was just, we were both going, oh, Baxter, you're about to be so sour. As you realize this guy is 100% waiting on that exact build.
Looks like the scouting link is going to come up poking here. Will he see the Banshee with the star? He does see the starport.
He sees the starport. He sees the tech lab. It's not a guarantee that it's going to be flipped, but I mean, if it just happened to you and it worked, why wouldn't he do it again?
There goes the Evo chamber. He's ready for it. He knows what's coming.
And then a second starport.
A second starport. Uh-oh. What's this mean?
Dual gas, 2 starport.
I wonder if he's going to switch it with the factory again and get... Yes, I think he is.
And there it is. Looks like we're going to be going 2-port Banshees.
Well, if it worked once with 1 Banshee, just think what it'll do with 2.
The first Banshee's on the way, but will he be saving up for Cloak? I mean, this is a lot of gas to spend. And if Zerg isn't 100%, I mean, it's either they're ready for flying units, or they're not. It has nothing to do with the cloak unless he goes with a large amount of queens.
Cartman is supply blocked, which is going to delay the second Banshee coming up.
And that's
right now.
You just pointed out one of the hardest parts of that build. When you go from the typical Marine Marauder Medevac build, which you're dealing with 1 supply, 2 supply, that kind of thing, into a Banshee build, where you're looking at a 3 supply unit, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm ahead of the game. I'm building 1 depot at a time, and then you all of a sudden you have to come up with 6 supply immediately, and it just doesn't happen.
Sert's throwing down 4 spore crawlers, so I doubt this is going to do much. I think what he's going to do is he's going to go check for a 3rd like he did the first game and just wait him out. Just try to choke him out on 2 base.
Yeah, and I mean, Sert also has the extra queen out, so any kind of... and he's spreading creep around, which is also very important, because those queens off creep aren't going to do a whole lot, so he's going to need to have that good creep spread, the extra queens, the spore crawlers. I mean, he's pretty well prepared for this. But if Cartman really hard commits to this, the other thing to remember is that he does have 2 starports on Tech Labs. So if this game goes the distance and his macro is strong, we may be seeing some battle cruisers. We'll see.
That Banshee is red health. Let's see if he'll focus it down. He's not focusing down. He's going to lose that queen. All these Zerglings trying to retreat to the spore line, as I like to call it.
Oh, but the spores don't cover all the mineral patches. Looks like Cartman's found himself a little spot he can hang out in.
Banshees.
But he is going to lose the Banshees. I'm at 9, 10, 11, 12.
I'm a little ahead of you.
Looks like he's going to get 10 workers for those 3 Banshees.
Well, Sert, you know how he likes to do when he wins something. He's smelling blood. He's going for the counterattack, and he's going to deny this expo going down.
Oh yeah, this is one of Sert's strong points. As soon as he senses that he has a lead, he's moving out. But this Banshee does change the dynamic somewhat, because I don't care how many lings you have, they can't do anything to this Banshee. I mean, yeah, he can do massive damage here, but he's going to have to do it before this Thor walks down. So it looks like we're going to be seeing a Banshee Thor composition. Banshee Marine Thor?
Just sending 1 ling to scout out, see what's happening. Cartman's going to throw down 2 bunkers. He's nervous, but those bunkers aren't going to be in time. Ling's coming in.
And here they come. Looks like he's going to focus that Thor before he can get any SCVs in to repair them. But like I said earlier, I mean, you can't... I mean, he's just going to have to... This is a one-way trip for these lings. They're going to kill as many SCVs as they can get a hold of, and that's going to be all that she wrote.
I mean, really, he doesn't need these lings. They've done enough damage to pay for themselves 3 times over. And there's still one going to town on this unfinished barracks.
Ha! So annoying. Especially when you don't know where he is. You're looking around going, where is it? I hear it. Where is it?
Oh, rally point. Sour. I can't pull off the sour thing. I need to stop saying it. You got me saying it.
And I got that from Maximus Black. And I tried not to use it so much because I know it's kind of his thing. But sometimes it's just the only thing that seems to fit.
I wonder if
disappointed. Like, oh, that's man. He must be disappointed.
This is an unfortunate turn of events for Cartman here. It doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't have that same ring to it.
I wonder if he's going to leave this barracks unfinished, or how long will he notice before it's canceled or completed.
Yeah, that bunker's just kind of hanging out right now. I mean, what's interesting about this is that, yeah, he could probably flood lings and do more damage, but it's going to be hard to make that decision knowing that it's a one-way trip.
There's a few muta in here, but these turrets are going to deter them.
Yeah, 4 mutas isn't going to be enough to come in here and do any type of damage. And there's the second. I mean, Cartman just knows this matchup, man. He is just making some really smart decisions when it comes to what to produce and when. I mean, he knew his Banshee timing. He saw what was going on. Like, his turret timing. I mean, he had a Thor on the field by the time. I mean, it's just, this is a really mean army comp, and it's pretty much stopping everything Sert can throw at it. So, I mean, this may come down to who gets to their top tech first.
Cartman is going heavy mech. He only has one barracks, and it's not producing anything. I think he's going pure mech, and he might build some Banshees or Ravens out of these starports, but I don't see it happening right now.
Yeah, and the thing about Banshees is they're always going to spice up your army a little bit. Like, if you have them in there, especially versus Zerg, if you have a heavy ground force and he decides, you know what, I got to opt for something like Lings and Banes, then having those Banshees in the army at least means that you can clean some of them up on their way in, or you can take some of them out after they've done their damage, you know? Like the Banshees are going to be safe. It's going to force him to either go with a heavy Muta, or he's going to have to go with, you know, Hydras, which are not going to be that strong against the Terran army. But he does have Mutas just kind of hanging out.
And at the third, those 3 Mutas just killed those 2 Banshees. The 2 Banshees did manage to get a Queen, but I don't think that was worth it.
Yeah, Queen, 4 more workers. I mean, that's a really expensive unit to trade like that, but it does keep him on his toes. If he shows a desire to stick with the Banshees, and it kind of changes the way Sert can play. I mean, he's only got the options that can look up. He's got to go Banshee. I mean, he's got to go Muta. He needs to have spores everywhere. If he wants a mobile anti-air, he has to go Hydra, or he's got to go up to Corruptor and Broodlord. So I mean, yeah, he still has a bunch of options, but he also has to, you know, like it takes away that Ling Bane composition that's so popular right now.
Right. I mean, Ling Bang's not going to do anything against Heli and Thor tank. You know.
Yeah.
Got to have those Mutas to do something.
The only things that are going to have trouble with those Banes will be the Hellions, but the Hellions aren't going to be your primary target. So, it's just, this is a really interesting comp, and I actually heard Cartman talking about this, and I was trying to put my fingers in my ears and go la 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 la, because he was telling me how this game went. I'm going, don't tell me anything. It looks like Cartman has realized that he's spending all of his gas and has all this extra minerals, so he's just going to drop a couple extra command centers. He'll probably use these to either help augment his production of SCVs at his third, or maybe he'll start, you know, taking over more of the map. But if he moves
I don't know what that Muta was for. He just lost a Muta for free.
Yeah, that's you're about 10 seconds ahead, so give yourself a pause.
Alright.
Alright, so now I'm at 1707, 8, 9, and we have a good number of Thors on the field. I mean, 4 Thors is going to be trouble for anyone who's not massing just a large army. But he is going to move out with these Hellions. Looks like he's going to look and see if he has a 4th and find it. And these drones are just going to get roasted.
Got wrecked. Look at that. Oh, the rally point. No, he's losing more and more.
Oh my god. This is something that, you know... yeah, this isn't going to win the game, but it's so annoying. Here come the Infestors, so... a couple good fungals and these guys are gone. Oh, and Roaches pop out just in time to take out the last of them. But he's showing his hand. He's going heavy Infestor, and now looks like we have Neural Parasite on the way.
I saw that too. You don't see that very often since it got the debuff and it has like 4 range or something like that. Really short.
Oh yeah, but when you're dealing with all these Thors, I mean, that's definitely a way to handle them. It's like, oh, you have Thors? Well, now I have Thors. If he's able to.
The gold.
Oh yeah, Sert's on the gold. He's got himself a 4th. The gold will be his 5th base. He has effectively split the map in half. I'm actually surprised he didn't go for the expansion up at the close by air starting point. I mean, it seems like that'd be the likely scenario with where he is already.
Well, you know, typically you like to divide the map in half, and that close by air is usually on the Terran side. Even though the Terran's going to take it last, you don't want to have it's basically undefendable. Is that the word?
Yeah, it becomes a difficult thing to defend, especially if you know that your opponent is going with this kind of mech build. Because he's already shown Banshees. It means you have to be ready for Banshees everywhere, which makes every expansion cost 200-300 minerals more. I mean, it basically just raises the price of playing for Zerg.
Sert is getting into the end game. He's like, I'm had enough of this guy. Broodlord time.
Oh yeah, once that Greater Spire comes up, we'll probably start seeing some Real hard tech switch. And those infestors he has are just sitting back, soaking up energy, getting ready, getting upgraded. But here comes the push from Cartman.
Thing is, the mech army is less mobile than a bio army, and the Hellions will always get there first. So I wouldn't drive in here with these Hellions, but looks like Cartman lucked out. There's nothing here to really stop him. So the Hellions can roast drones while waiting for the Thor as backup.
Oh yeah. And here comes the actual units that are good against buildings. And it looks like Sert has decided it's not worth it to try to fight this army on the fly. He's just going to get himself ready. He's going to mass up, and here comes a huge amount of Broodlords. I hear one Marine. Oh, there he is.
The Broodlords are out of position. I hope they can get there quick enough. They're really slow. They don't get that creep bonus while they're flying over creep.
Oh yeah, and the I mean, with all these tanks sieging up, I mean, you'd think this would be the time for him to move in, and here they come. He's going to drop those basketballs from the low ground, and this may be enough to completely wipe out Cartman's army.
Oh, it doesn't. Oh, Thors are not good against Broodlords. They just can't hit them. They're way too far away.
Oh, that range is crazy. Here comes 4 infested Terran. And you know, they do a surprising amount of DPS for being free supply. But all of his army is gone. But it looks like with Cartman with his excellent macro is going to be able to reproduce pretty quickly. I mean, we're not seeing a huge supply loss. I mean,
Cartman's definitely on the macro game right now.
Yeah, we're seeing ship weapon upgrades and 4 Thors at a time.
I don't know if those Thors will be worth it though. He needs Vikings, not he needs to switch, put some reactors on those starports, and get rid of the tech labs.
Well, the other side of that is with now that he knows he has broods and that he has them in large numbers, if you link your Hellions to your Thors, it makes it very difficult for the Broodlords to do a lot of damage, especially Blue Flame Hellions. That's something that someone was theory crafting on the Team Liquid forum, and then posted a replay of his experiments where like a Thor with, I think it's 4 Hellions will always beat a Broodlord, that kind of thing. It was either 4 or 6, I can't even remember at this time, but I mean, look at the banks from both of these players. I mean, we're looking at 2 maxed out armies moments after one army was completely annihilated. I mean, this game is not it's not even close to being decided. But with all these Vikings, I mean, I don't know what Sert's going to be able to do to stop this from just flattening his Broodlords. I mean, does he have a what is Corruptors?
Those Broodlords are going to get wrecked. Those Fungals are the only thing that's going to save the Broodlords.
And Sert is known for having excellent Fungals, but I mean, you're talking 2 Corruptors versus 12 Vikings. I mean, right here would be the time to do it, but he's going to drop back. The first Fungal doesn't really catch much of anything, and here comes the engagement. I mean, Sert's opting for infested Terran over fungal growth, and I don't know if that's the right decision at this point.
He's using the Fungals to hold the Vikings still while the infested Terrans shoot under them, and they can't run away.
Man, I completely missed that. What a jerk. But he's not but he's not primarying the Vikings with the infested until right now. All right, there we go. Man, these armies, they're so hard to get in one screen with the Broodlord so far back. I'm sitting here trying to like scroll around. I'm like, oh god, how do I see anything?
Oh, looks like Cartman has 2/2 upgrades on his ground, and there's just no upgrades for anything for Sert. And just the Vikings are going to say to hell with the infested Terrans and go after the Broodlords and just clean them up.
I mean, this is going to come down to just who makes a mistake first. I mean, this is a crazy army to be fighting. That's so many infestors. I mean,
oh, Viking just rallied into infested Terrans.
Oh my god, there is just a lot of carnage going on here. The infested Terran.
He knurled the one of the Vikings for some reason and missed the Thor. Oh, there's a Thor neural parasited.
Oh, and the Vikings are trying to run from the infested Terran, but they're going to get caught.
Yeah, the thing is, Vikings can fly, and they're pretty fast when they fly, not so fast when they're on the ground.
Oh yeah, so now he's landing all of his Vikings. And there's the Neurals you were talking about.
My computer and my 7 gigabyte internet so fast.
I mean, for infestors being so useful, they can be such a liability if you don't have any energy, or if you're just caught out of position. I mean, that is just a...
Well, any spellcaster unit can be like that.
Oh yeah. I mean, think of a High Templar walking around on his own.
Yeah, they're slow. They have no health. They're just a shade above Dark Templar. with the health, I mean.
And the
right.
looks
I'm
like
at,
Sert's going for Burrow at... I can't see my time anymore. There we go. I'm at 27:50, 51, 52.
Perfect.
All right. We don't see any more upgrades coming for Cartman, but he is taking a huge supply lead. I mean, he is just... And there they are. The battle cruisers.
Why, Cartman? Why?
And he's going to be going for the gold. So now we're seeing exactly what this is the exact split across the map that we were talking about earlier. It is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 base Terran versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 base Zerg. 6 base Zerg. What am I saying? Go counting.
I don't know what you're saying. Well, technically those bases are getting mined out, but Sert definitely wanted to keep that gold. Look at the spine crawlers there.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's a good way to free up supply too. I mean, and it's, you know, even a very large army will take some losses to that. I mean, obviously it's a game of scale where, you know, the larger your army, the less your losses. But I mean, that could be so annoying. I mean, even with, you know, Protoss cannons, or, you know, nothing from Terran, or these from Zerg, spine crawlers, you can really set up some pretty annoying, like, traps that people have to fight through.
I have three things really. Cartman has the biggest balls putting an orbital at the goal. Look at that.
Well, at this point in the game, I mean, he's shown Broodlords that will seriously kill a planetary for free if they just realize it's there.
Well, he's also dropping mules there, and that doesn't give any back since the new patch update, where mules only still carry 30 back from gold expansion. But the looks like these armies are going to miss each other as Sert's moving up the right side and Cartman's moving up the left, trying to take out the less defended bases.
And this goes back to the old Metalopolis dance that people like to talk about. As one army gets to one side of the map, the other army's on the other. It looks like Sert has opted to keep all his roaches moving in this, and this whole army actually is going to be coming down here taking out production facilities, which I think may be the right decision in this scenario. But the thing is, he's got to get something back, because you just do not base trade with Terran.
Base trading with Terran, since they can fly, and that's totally fair, by the way. It's just you don't try to base race with Terran. You come back and defend.
It looks like Sert may not have noticed that this was this armory is working. I mean, that'd be a great opportunity for him to waste a lot of minerals and an upgrade from that's just about complete for Cartman, but he is opting for production facilities first.
All Cartman has to do is lift up these buildings, and all the roaches can get is the add-ons. I mean, the infestors can drop infested Terrans, yeah, but once that energy's gone, you know, you just fly away.
Oh yeah.
It looks like he's too busy focusing on the fight here, but you don't really need to look at the fight. You need to just look back and forth. Really.
Now, if you look at Cartman's vision, he doesn't know that Sert has that base close by air. So he may be thinking that he's only got a couple more bases to take out, and this is going to be an easy win for him. But
he is going to take out all the production, and a Zerg with no production is like, you know, it's just lings, you know.
Let me draw your attention to Sert's bank. 10,000, 3,000 right now.
Well, you know, that's a hell of a lot, but without the larva, you know, if he goes back to what that other game was, he had all those minerals, but he couldn't spend it on anything.
Oh, yeah. But there's no reason why he can't drop 12 hatches right now and just start producing like crazy. It looks like these infested Terran are just going to I mean, every time you see a Thor die to an infested Terran, you gotta wonder, what the hell was I thinking? These are free units. And they're slow as all get out, so all you gotta do is run away, and that looks like what he's gonna do now before he loses any more units of these. Looks like he may lose a battle cruiser.
Oh, these roaches are coming in. Oh, look, these roaches are gonna tear up this mech army.
Oh, this is just this is wholesale destruction. And this is what you like to see out of a TVZ. This is no early main bust. This is a slugfest. It's going to go on.
No fungal required.
Wow, and I have to say, I haven't seen a lot of roach infestor compositions. This seems to be working out for our man Sert. But Cartman, if you noticed, has built just a army of production facilities up here in the top right. I mean, all that production that Sert focused, it's just pretty much slowing him down a little teeny bit.
He is just maxing out battle cruisers. Those roaches, you know, their roaches are good, but battle cruisers hard counter roaches out here.
Oh yeah, I heard there's a lot you can do with a battle cruiser versus a roach, especially when all your buildings fly, which is totally balanced, by the way.
Yeah, definitely. Totally fair. You can just build your command center in your base safely and just lift and float it to the danger zone. You can't do.
Well, at least thank
these
God.
factories get away. They're all just kind of doing their own thing and running wherever they feel like it.
Well, these infested Terran, now that's something that is an interesting part of this matchup, is that infested Terran, when this map gets mined out, like let's say we get to the point where this map is completely mined out, Sert's gonna have a massive advantage, being that he has free units that he can call in from anywhere just based on energy. I mean, I've seen like some major tournament games go down where there's just nothing left on the map, and it comes down to just who has the better caster unit. I mean,
Cartman is going into the main of Sert. He's going to take out this hive, which means Sert was building Ultralists, but Ultralists are just about as effective as roaches against battle cruisers. But
yeah, I think
going to counterattack with all the production facilities of Cartman.
I think at this point, Sert may want to be canceling those Ultralists in favor of something more anti-air friendly. Now, are any of these infested Terran even going to make it to life before?
No.
There we go.
They're all die.
I mean, it took... I mean, that was a very Zap Brannigan way of fighting this, but it looks like it may pan out for him.
Sert's problem is right now is he hasn't... Once that big attack was when he took out all the production facilities, he didn't macro up. He's on 2 hatcheries right now, and he has no larva at all. He has 8 larvae right now, and he has nothing that can look up. He's gonna have to resort to queens if he has to try to win this.
Well, he does have infested Terran, which can be lobbed from an invisible position underground, which is what he is doing right now. This is very smart from Sert. I mean, this orbital is going to go, barring some magic. That's gone. Now he's losing all of his mining. I mean, he's only mining off of what, 1 base right now?
Yeah.
So all of his mining is focused on this 1 base, but he is having to deal with battle cruisers versus Brood Lords. Isn't exactly the best matchup for the Ultralists. Man, these
Ooh. This is a good one. All these infestors are trying to buy time, get their energy back, but these battle crews are just going to work.
I mean, it looks like 11,000 minerals for Sert, and still no macro hatches. And we
still no hatches at all.
And we see just 5 battle cruisers patrolling around the map, just looking for something to kill. And they're going to find a lot of spine crawlers for free. And Sert is hitting his injects at his last. Oh, that queen just got it bad.
Full energy queen.
Roasted. Oh, and he's just out of energy. I mean, these infestors, yeah, they're great units, but you need something else. Where's the macro hatch?
Where? I mean, there's the GG from Sert.
Oh, that's cool, because I haven't seen it yet.
That's well, spoiler alert.
Oh, man.
You keep talking about the game, I'll forget what I said.
This is just a my battle cruisers will blot out the sun. That is so many battle cruisers, dude. And they are 2-2 upgraded. That isn't even right.
Those battle cruisers are just wrecking the army of Sert that is definitely not GG'd yet.
Oh yeah, and there's the uppercase GG. Wow! And for the first time, we see battle cruisers making an appearance in the tournament.
Battle cruisers OP, man.
Oh man, and that's I mean, in smaller numbers, I think the Infestors would have done just fine against them. But when you get to this point where the Infested Terran aren't even breaking out of their basketballs before they're annihilated by a swarm of battle cruisers, I mean, you're looking at what, 12 battle cruisers? That's just crazy. And he spotted his last base with his siege tank, which was sieging up in range of all of his drones. It's really a shame. I mean, it's amazing that you can have 12,000 minerals and 5,000 gas, and I guess
nothing to spend it on.
Nothing to spend it on. That's the.
I mean,
the macro
all he had was
mechanics.
spawning pool.
Yeah, I mean, if he had, what is that, like 14,000 larvae, he could spend it on lings. But oh my god, that is just
That was a good game.
That was a very good game by the two of these fellas right here. All right. So Cartman's taking this. I keep not wanting to call it a series because this is just kind of the getting to know you round. But it looks like he's going to pick up 2 more points in this matchup. Cartman goes 2-0.